Good evening, and what is going on? This is Ricardo of the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we're about to get started with Open Mic Live. And man, has it started out weird already. I mean, it's already like 15 after, and you'll see why here in just a little bit. But first, as always, a word from our sponsors.
InDigital is on a mission to improve the 911 industry. Our goal is to create something better to go above and beyond the current standards. Our passion for creating the most advanced, well-designed solutions led to our position as an industry leader in next-gen core services. For the millions of calls processed over our emergency IP networks, to our Text for 911 solution, Texty, to our disaster recovery and backup solution, Mevo, it's easy to see we love what we do. For more information, check us out at www.indigital.net.
Rapid Deploy believes that every public safety agency, regardless of size, should have access to the data they need when it matters most. That's why, since 2016, our mission has been to reduce emergency response times and improve public safety. We are the industry's only integrated emergency response platform. Our web-based cloud platform includes analytics, mapping, dispatch, and mobile apps, purpose-built for 911 in the 21st century. Visit www.rapiddeploy.com to learn how we enable effective, efficient, data-driven emergency response.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Holy shit. My apologies. Welcome everyone to Open Mic Live. Every Thursday we are here 10 p.m., quarter after, 20 after. I'm sorry. 10 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook, Twitter, as well as YouTube. And we share funny 911 stories. This episode has been sponsored by InDigital as well as Rapid Deploy. And I hope you have your stories ready, because I am ready to laugh. I hope you are as well. I have a guest with me today for a little bit here in the beginning, but holy hell, man. We were having some technical difficulties and stuff, and I'm going to be piping in my guest here a little. It's a little different. Either way, it's going to be good. We're going to have some fun here and some stuff at the end that I'm going to show. A couple things that I've put out there already as teasers, and hopefully you are all ready for it. Some of you have been guessing it already, and thank you. It's going to be good. So, as always, it's Thursday. So, what is your number? How are you feeling? There's still shit going on in the world, and as always, so from a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling? 1 being shitty, of course, and then 10, awesome. I'm like at an 8.5, 9. I was a 9 before. I think it went down half because I was trying to figure out some things before we started. And I have my guest here This is so funny. This is so good. It's going to be good. I hope you're ready to laugh. Yes. So, okay, in the comments, let's see how you're doing. How are you feeling? How is your numbers? And if they're, below a 6, let's see if we can get them up there. Let's see if by the time we're done with this, we can get them up there and just, continue doing what we're doing. So, looks like we've got also roll call. Where are you at? Where are you joining us? And if this is your first time at Open Mic Live, please throw that in the comments as well. So let's see. We've got 7.5. We've got a 4, a low 6, a 5. We do have a 9. That's good. A 2. And okay. So we're going to try to get those numbers up there, man. At the end of this, hopefully we can get those numbers up there. Let's see. We've got an 8, overall 9, but health 1.5. Okay. Hopefully any laughter doesn't affect that, any medical issues or pain or anything like that. Again, hopefully we can get those numbers up there. Dawn is at a 2, but she's working. All right. Well, hopefully we can make you laugh your ass off while you're at work. So we're going to get this started. And so we got some from Illinois here, from Tennessee, Pennsylvania, first time. Allie, what's going on? Thank you for joining us. Again, Open Mic Live, we share funny 911 stories, whether they be, funny phone calls that have come in, incidents that have happened in dispatch, because we know funny shit happens in dispatch, or of course, the open mics. So we're going to get through that here. And see, we got some from South Texas, Kansas, Yellowstone National Park. Excellent. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and get started here. A big shout out to the patrons as always. Thank you all so much for everything. I wouldn't be able to do what I do, if it wasn't for you and the sponsors, and of course, everyone who watches, listens, shares, supports, all of that. Adam says, Allie, welcome to the best live show on Facebook. Thank you. That is awesome. I thank you so much. Episode 362 with Daniel Sundahl of Dan Sun Photos is out right now. Make sure to check out that episode. It is an amazing one. Episode 363 is coming up for patrons here tomorrow. Also, if you haven't done so already, make sure to check out and register for the Be the Difference Conference, the first virtual conference that the Denise Amber Lee Foundation is putting on, powered by Within the Trenches Media. Such an honor to be able to do that. So make sure to hit it up. Also, buy some swag. There's some links there as well that you can buy, shirts, sweatshirts, all types of stuff. And round 3 of Imagine Listening, we did that just a few days ago. It was a complete success. Thank you all for joining us. It was awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. For all those who have who won patches from the giveaways, as well as earned a coin or a pin, thank you for your patience. Things got kind of pulled back and everything from the loss from my family here the last week or so. So thank you all so much for the patience, and I'll be working on those to get that all out there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring my guest up here. And hopefully this all works. Again, like I said, I'm doing this a little different. So you might actually see it lag just a little bit, but only from my end, because my camera is being used in 2 different spots. So we'll see if this works. And
can I talk now?
hold on. I haven't brought you up yet.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'm gonna add her to the stream here as she jumped in already. So all right. So here we go. Okay, you are now on screen.
Hi.
All right.
Oh.
Everyone, this is my homegirl. This is Erica. She is a dispatcher out of Michigan, and she's also the one who's on the cover of the podcast for 2021. Thank you so much for submitting that. And it was excellent. It was excellent stuff. And I am so happy to have you on, because for those who are watching right now, last week when I was doing Open Mic Live, people in the comments saying hello. Hello.
Hi. Sorry, I can't see comments because of how the setup is. So
Yes. So
hi, everybody.
we were having some issues in the beginning. I had brought Erica into the green room and had her up here. So there was some issue that was going on. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but there was an issue that was going on where the video just wasn't working well. So we're trying to do a bunch of different things. I even had her on the phone just with audio. But
I had to kick all my kids off their video games. We tried everything.
Yes. So
Didn't work.
then the last thing that we were able to figure out was to go through Facebook and bring her up through the messenger and then pipe her in this way. So I'm sharing my screen right now, and we're doing it this way, and it's working. Everything is fine. She's just not able to.
My palms are like sweating right now from having to be quiet for that long.
Yes.
He told me, don't talk. You have to be as quiet as possible because they're going to be able to hear you. And so I was sitting there like holding my breath the whole time.
It was pretty funny. That's why as I was talking and everything, I could see you over here on this other screen, and I was trying not to laugh. So we can see each other, but she can't see the comments or anything. So we got somebody here that says hello as well in Michigan, currently dispatching right now. So,
Hey.
woo! Awesome. So again, thank you for the picture, and you are on the cover for the podcast for 2021. And last week, if any of you were on Open Mic Live last week, my brother and my sister were on there. It was an awesome time. I shared a story about being held hostage as a pizza delivery guy. So that was funny. But before that, we were sharing stories about, when we were in our past, when we and a lot of people were sharing stories. Either there were times when we got pulled over or accidents. And you told a pretty interesting story, and my siblings and I were like, holy shit. So I knew I had to have you on because you ended up telling me a little bit more about the story, and there was a lot of blood and gore. I mean, it sounded like a horror movie, some slasher flick. So for those who are new to the show and who might not have been listening, or watching last time, tell us the story again. What happened and how old were you at the time?
Okay. So, you know how I tell stories. There's always got to be, if I'm 17 years old, the story kind of has to start like around 12 or so. So I'll try to get to the point.
Throw in the detail. It's all good. We're here for an hour, man.
No. So again, little backstory.
Mm-hmm.
When the actual accident happened, it was the summer that I was 17. So that would have been 99, if I'm doing my math correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm putting my age out there. That's
my senior
I'm
year.
old.
My
I'm
senior
old.
year in high school. Yep.
Yeah. So prior to that, my family had some really, really strange vehicles when I was a teenager. My dad worked for the County Road Commission. So for some reason, right before I turned 16, he bought this old orange county like surveying van, like a big full-sized van.
Whoa, okay.
And that was, yeah. And so my options were either I had to drive that or I had to drive a stick shift, which I couldn't do. And both of my parents tried so hard to get me to learn how to drive a stick. And there were lots of tears shed, probably by all of us. It was really bad.
Oh,
and
no.
so, yeah. And so finally I was like, okay, I finally have my freedom. I'm just going to start driving this van. So my first summer, I drove this big orange van around, which was ridiculous. And since we're talking about animal stories, I did almost hit a cow in that one.
What?
But that's a whole nother story.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I was just driving down the road and a cow literally ran out in front of me.
What
When I
the
had to
hell?
slam on my brakes. I don't know. It just, yeah. So anyways, I ended up deciding by the time I was 17, I'm like, I can't drive this van again.
Mhm.
This is not going to work for me. So I self-taught myself how to drive a stick. I'm pretty sure that I probably ruined something in the gears somewhere along the way because it went down the road though. It went down the road and it got me where I needed to go.
Right.
So that was the most important thing. So anyhow, one night I'm out dinking around in my little, it was like a 1990 Chevy Corsica stick shift, just to give you a picture. And I was running late for curfew. And I was like, oh crap, I have to get home now, or I'm going to have to get banished back to the orange van again or something. I don't know. So I am like hauling ass. The speed limit is 55 out where we lived. And I'm just like cruising along. I have about 2 minutes before I'm supposed to be home. And I just happened to look down because I could see my house from where I was. And I looked down at the speedometer and I was going 90. And all of a sudden I felt something warm on my hand and I saw something brown. And then all of a sudden it just went like I was in another world. Like I couldn't hear anything. I was just like in shock. So I finally kind of like come to my senses enough to realize I just hit something and this is not good. This isn't good. So I get out of my car and at some point in time, like I said, I was right down the road from my house. This old man stopped and he was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, I don't know. I think so. So I was like, I just live right there. So from what I can remember, I think we just left the car in the middle of the road. And he took me up to my house and my parents were waiting out on the front porch. Like they were probably waiting for me to see, is she really going to make it home in time or not?
Oh man.
So I like show up with this random guy that they have no clue who it is. And I didn't realize it at the time, but when the deer hit the car, it came from the right side of the road and it hit my front right headlight and it bounced up on the hood and then it hit the windshield right in front of where I was sitting. I'm sorry, I talk with my hands a lot too. I know
It's okay.
that's probably distracting. But,
No. Go ahead. It makes it more funny.
It literally like shattered out the windshield right in front of me. And it kind of, thank God, it bounced off the top part of where the windshield, meets the, I'm not a car person, the top of the car.
Right. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. And that saved it from coming inside because it partially came in and like that was what I felt on my hand was the deer. So anyhow, when that happened, blood just splattered all over me. And I was wearing a white shirt. Like I still remember what I was wearing to this day. I was wearing a white t-shirt. So my face was just speckled in blood. My shirt was speckled in blood. And then from the glass coming in, I was wearing shorts because it was summer and it was like the whole back of my legs were scraped up from all of the glass. I had glass like embedded in my hands. So my hands were bleeding. So it was like a mixture of deer blood and my blood. And so I walk up, like I said, with this random guy and my mom just starts like flipping out. And I'm still in shock. So I can't even really formulate a thought in this moment. I'm just like, I don't even know what happened. So thankfully, this man was able to relay to my parents, like, I just found your daughter down the road. From what I can tell, she must have hit a deer. But what happened was the deer, I hit it because I was going 90 miles an hour. It just flew. It flew so far out into a field that I didn't really realize what happened until a little ways, down the line. So my parents called the police to come out, and they met me at my house. And so they had already checked out my abandoned car in the middle of the road and the bits and pieces of deer that were in the field. So they kind of like try to get my version of the story. And he starts out by saying, that deer was ripped in half. How fast were you going? Like, so I knew in the moment that he totally knew I was speeding. So there was no getting out of it. I had to admit that I was speeding, right? So in that moment, I was like, shit, like, do I admit that I was breaking the law to this officer? Like, what do I do? So in my smart 17-year-old brain, I was like, okay, if I tell him I was going 57, then he'll know I was speeding, but it's not 90.
But it's not as bad.
So like, yeah, it's not as bad. So I said, yeah, I was going 57, and he just like looks at me, and then he like looks over at my parents, and they all just start laughing at me and shaking their head because they knew. He said to my parents, he said, the deer is literally in pieces, like it's in pieces. I won't go into detail because he actually went into detail describing it, and it was pretty gory. So anyways, yeah, I ended up I had to go to the hospital, and it took them a couple of hours because I had a whole bunch of glass stuck in my ear. So they had to keep irrigating my ear, and I had to go get x-rays and stuff to make sure they got it all out. And then they had to just pluck out pieces of glass out of my hand one by one.
Can you imagine being like you being the dispatcher taking the call from you or something for that crash?
Well, I mean, if I would have called myself in that moment, I wouldn't have known what happened. Like, I just knew that something crazy just went down and my windshield was missing. So, I didn't realize.
All I can imagine is you walking up with this random dude and your parents being there. And I mean, they had to have been in shock because if you're drenched in blood and deer blood, and the dude's like, hey, I just like found your daughter. I don't know what she did. Like,
right.
It could be a Dateline episode.
Yeah, that was basically the reaction they had, kind of like, who the hell are you? And why is my daughter with you? And why is she covered in blood? Like, you could see all those thoughts just bouncing through my mom's head real fast. And now me, like as a mom, having kids that are teenagers, oh my gosh, if they showed up at home like that, I feel so bad. You're a dispatcher on top of that. So right. Yeah.
So you're suspicious of everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is amazing.
And then I watch this and I hear all of your stories, and then I get even more suspicious of my teenagers. Like, seriously, I'm like, are they trying to pull something over on me?
Oh man. This is so good. This is why I wanted to have you on, because last week you had that little blurb there about this accident, because we're talking about all these funny 911 stories, and then I started talking about things that happened in my past, growing up, and getting pulled over because my brother was there, and I wanted to hear his side of it. And then people just started sharing stories about times they've been pulled over or accidents they've had, and then you end up posting that one. I thought, I mean, I went back and looked at it, and all three of us had the same look on our face, like, no way. So I knew I had to have you on, not only because you are the face of the podcast for the cover, but to share this story, because is just gnarly, man. And now, years later, you're working as a member of the Thin Gold Line. You're a 911 dispatcher.
Yeah.
and that's amazing.
I have to say that, seriously, there are times when people call in and they're kind of describing their car, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, no, I totally know what you're talking about, because I have been there and done that. So yeah.
Oh man.
That helped prepare me.
That is funny. Thank you so much for taking a moment to come on and share this story with the audience, and all of you who are in the audience right now. You as well. If you have any stories, please throw them in the comments. I will read them. Any funny 911 stories as well. again, throw them in there. That's what Open Mic Live is all about, where we're sharing funny stories and even personal ones as well. This is so awesome. So before I let you go here, there was one more story that okay, everybody watching right now, this story is just a random story, something that happened. And you had told me about this as we were talking about this story about bringing you on and stuff, and you just happened to tell me this other one, and I thought you have to share this one because what the fuck. So please enlighten the audience with this. It seems like there is funny shit that happens to you. We can laugh about it now, but I'm sure it was scary as hell when you hit that deer. But
yeah, that was scary. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm way over that for sure. It still gets brought up all the time when I'm with my parents and stuff. So I mean, it's still there.
this one that you're about to mention here, I don't know if I would be able to get over this one. So go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know why. I'm one of those people that just has weird shit happen to them. It's just random shit all the time. And so long story short, I recently went to a new dentist and we decided that I needed to get a retainer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it. So I went in, I got impressions taken. He said that he just thought I needed like an upper retainer to kind of, because apparently I get stressed and I grind my teeth. Go figure. And I was doing some damage. So he's like, if you get an upper retainer, it'll help to work as a bite guard, all that jazz. So I'm like, all right. Well, when they do impressions, they do your upper and lower, and they sent me on my merry way. They told me that the dentist that dispenses them, he only comes around once a month. So I got the retainer made in August, and I just yesterday finally had a day off that meshed with his schedule. So I went in there, never met this guy before in my life. And he walks over to me and says, hey, I'm Dr. So-and-so. Why don't you go ahead and open up your mouth and we'll just pop this right in there. So I'm like, all right. So I opened my mouth and I feel him starting to pop a retainer down on my lower teeth. And I thought, gosh, that's weird. But I knew they took impressions of both. So I thought, well, maybe they just went ahead and made me one of the lower two. But it felt real weird, like something wasn't right. So he starts like pushing harder and he's like putting some muscle behind it. And finally I like raised my hand. I'm like, excuse me, but I wasn't supposed to have a lower retainer. I was only supposed to have an upper retainer. And he looks at me, he's like, oh, okay, I'll be right back. Comes back out with my retainer. So basically he was shoving somebody else's retainer in my mouth.
Oh my God. That is horrible. Yeah. Like, okay, let's put this in a scenario of like dispatch. So, you know, a lot of people call in when their food orders aren't right. Like, what if someone were to call in about someone who just tried to shove someone else's retainer in their mouth?
I mean, you know, I wasn't sure how to feel about it. I was feeling some type of way. I don't really know if I feel like, I don't know. I'm still trying to process the whole thing because it's just really weird.
Did you confirm that it was actually someone else's retainer? Like, I mean, it had to have been, right?
I didn't say like whose retainer is that, but it clearly was not my teeth. It was not my teeth at all. Like, not even close.
Like, did it taste like onion or like?
I mean, I feel like I must have been the first person's mouth that it had been in. I'm hoping.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I came home with just an upper retainer. And that was a whole nother saga, but
your upper retainer though, right?
Well, I think so. It was so tight that I couldn't get it off when I got home.
Dude.
So I'm hoping that it's mine.
Who the hell is your? Okay, you can't see the comments, but somebody on here just put like 4 vomit emojis.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. That was how I felt too.
Oh, dude, that is horrible, man. Okay, so someone else, Mara up here, she goes, we call those shit magnets in Texas. That came out a little bit after you were saying like a lot of crazy weird shit happens to you. And she also says, ew, is that you? Are you that person in dispatch? Are you the shit magnet or no?
I'm not really
kind of off and on?
Well, I'm not really the shit magnet, but I'm the weird magnet. Like it totally crosses over. I mean, I hear it all the time. Things will come in and I just wait for the dispatcher to read my call. Like I sit there and like snicker, just waiting for him to read it. And then they'll be like, Dinger, what the heck? Only you would take this call. So I hear that very often. So yeah, it's always the weird things.
Oh man, that is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that story. That is disgusting and amazing at the same time. That is so funny. Again, thank you for everything that you do, and I appreciate it, and for coming on and sharing these funny stories.
I'm so sorry if I grossed anybody out tonight. You just made me tell 2 stories about like a bloody, gory deer and then somebody else's retainer. So I apologize if I grossed anybody out. But
come on, this is all like, I mean, there are some people, through the public who watch this, but it's all dispatch, man. We've got that humor.
True.
Everybody knows. So Mara on here says, I was the one that the psycho callers asked for in dispatch. Oh man, that is funny. Well, again, thank you so much for being on, and I'm going to go ahead and let you go. And then if you have any other stories, please throw them in the comments. And you as well, if you have any stories that you want to share too, throw them in the comments.
Will do.
Oh man. All right. Have a good night.
All right. Yeah, you too.
All right.
Bye.
Oh my Lord. That was funny stuff. There's one that came in here before. Again, thank you, Erica. That was amazing. Let's see, we got one here that says, returning home from Disney, Dad was driving with RV trailer behind a truck, and a deer came out of the woods and ran directly into our car. Same experience. The deer came up into our windshield. I had deer butt in my face. I had deer butt in my face, and then it rolled out of the car and rolled away and ran off into the woods and died. Oh, dude, that is bad as well. Oh, sheesh. Man, a retainer. What? Sherry says, did it taste like onions? That made me laugh so loud I scared the dog. Oh, that is great. Mara says, great job. Yep. Yeah, that's the type. Those are the types of things that happen every so often. Again, if you have any funny 911 stories, please throw them into the comments and I will read them and we will discuss. Again, this is what open mic is all about. We share funny stories. Hey, my mom is on in the comments. Hello. She's got the popcorn there. Hello, Mom. Love you, Mom. Let me see. There was something that I wanted to share here. I gotta pull it up and so that I can show it because it was pretty funny. I ended up getting I got a message from somebody that said that they saw this and they just simply started laughing. So I'm going to go ahead and post this up here because I know a lot of you know this story. Some of you might not, but so I got this right here from a friend, and it says, just started laughing out loud at the gas station. It's the bomb burrito. Oh, dude. What the heck? I had to laugh, but yeah, you have no idea how many people have sent me pictures of this bomb burrito that they have seen in the gas station. Something that I purchased and ate while I was in dispatch, and it was not a good thing because I had a Red Bull at the same time, and holy hell, did it mess me up. It was horrible. It was not good at all. I'm not going to play the video now, but if you go onto the podcast page, you'll know about that one. Let's see. Good Run says it's too early in the year for this story. I know. Oh man, I know. Yeah. I'm not going to tell the story. I'm not going to tell it. I just wanted to share that with you because I thought it was funny. Oh man. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me exit out of this here. All right. Let's see. I got one here that says a male caller called 911 years ago who wanted to make a report of Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert breaking into his apartment, which was a motel room, and stealing his denim jacket and one roll of toilet paper. What? I, unfortunately, was the one that got to answer that call. Was that a person who like would call all the time, or was just this a one-time thing? Those calls, yeah, those are the ones that are pretty interesting. But what if they were? What if officers went out there, man? And what if it was officers that ended up going out there and they ended up calling up and being like, dude, this was legit. Like, they're actually out here. Then what? Like, what would you do? Because, every phone call you have to take as a, an emergency, priority one, all of that good stuff. And, yeah, you treat it as such. It sounds unbelievable, right? But what if some of those calls that come in actually being for real, and then you're just kind of sitting there like, well, damn. Oh my Lord. All right, let me see. Let me go back through here into the comments to make sure I've gotten the stories. Oh, see, Ellie says, my officers tried to make jokes of them actually being there because they know how gullible I am. Oh, well, there you go. So if you have officers that are going out and they want to be like that, they can they'll be able to say, those few things there. Because then what do you believe? All right, just going to go through the comments here to see if there are any other stories going on. And again, if you have any, throw them in here. It looks like we had that deer and the other one. It looks like there's some that are up here that are too far. I can't even get to them. Talking about accidents and stuff, I remember growing up, this one accident that I was in that was caused by, it was a 4-way stop and there was ice and this van T-boned me. All I remember from that whole thing though was that I was listening to AC/DC, and right when the lead singer yells, "You've been thunderstruck," was the moment that the car hit me. And I thought, man, now every time I hear that song, I'm going to think about that lady who T-boned me right at that moment. You've been thunderstruck, and crunch right on the side of the car. It's the shit that happens, man. It's the shit that happens. So, I might be coming up on some anniversaries actually for Open Mic Live. And I want to see if I can find some of those calls that are here. One of the things that I want to mention here really quick as well is I'm waiting for your stories to come in here. We got about 20 minutes left. No, she wasn't driving a Thunderbird. That would have been something, right? No. It was a minivan that crunched right into my Plymouth Neon. Oh man, remember all of it. Right here. So I shared this earlier today, and a lot of people have been asking about it. I'm sure it's kind of obvious, right, as to what it is. June 2021, and just kind of subtle right here in the back, the number 3. Got some announcements that are going to be coming up next week. I think Wednesday. I'll do it next week, Wednesday. I'll have an announcement that's coming up during that time about this, as well as one more thing, because this is going to be something different that I've not done in the past. And does anyone know what this means? Because there were a few people who were trying to guess what it was, but they didn't have it completely out there. So if you can guess this, I mean, it's kind of obvious, right? Let's see. We got a story here that says a dispatcher in a neighboring comm center gave out a burglary to a church and they stole the offerings. But the dispatcher giving it out made it sound like the bad guys took the church. What? Then, wait. The dispatcher who gave it out made it sound like the bad guys took the church versus the offerings? Do you have audio? Because that would be pretty funny to hear. No, this is James. If you're referring to the picture here, wording yes. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Well, if you have the audio, man, that would be interesting to hear. I would like to hear that because that sounds pretty funny. And if you ever, any of you who are watching right now, if you ever have any audio that that you would like to have played, please send it over, because what I can do is I can actually take out all the stuff that people don't need to hear, like addresses, phone numbers, all that stuff, and then we can just play the rest of the audio tape. Oh, ho, ho. So it looks like we have one person here who's got a couple people, all right, that have got this image right. So that's going to be the one thing that's new, that's going to be coming up. Again, that's going to be next week, Wednesday, when I'm going to be throwing all of this out there. So if any of you have some amazing sessions that you want to put out there, this is going to be what you want to be involved in. It is going to be awesome. Again, it'll be next week. I'm just throwing a little bit of this out there right now as a teaser because, that's what I do. That's what I like to do. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this here. And actually, I'm going to pull this off. And James, I see that you said you emailed me a funny fire dispatch. So some of the stuff that gets sent out to me, if the audio is not, if the quality is a little off and you can't really tell, or there's some stuff on there that I really can't play, They don't get. I don't air them. It's just like the audio. People were sending me messages to play the audio of the officer who was sleeping with somebody and had an open mic. That's funny, I know, but I can't play that shit. I can't play that one. I mean, I'm sure it's degrading enough for that person. But we can talk about other shit, man. We can talk about some other shit. Again, throw your stories in there and we'll go, because I can tell you stories that I have, but they're ones that you've probably heard before. So this session, this time here on Open Mic is all about all of you and the stories that you have. I can pull up some archive audio, because that'll be fun as well. I think there's just a bunch of 911 calls that I have somewhere. Oh, man. See, the crazy thing, though, is that some of the audio that I have right here is audio that I don't have. Yeah, some of these are explosions. Some of them are even like murders. Yeah, we don't want to hear that shit. This is supposed to be funny stuff. Oof. Yeah, I've got 21 folders worth of thousands of dispatch audio and everything. And all of these, man, these are not ones that you want to hear. These are ones that are mostly for learning. Let's see. Let's try this one.
This recording was prepared by 911dispatch.com.
911 emergency.
Yeah, for Elmage.
What's going on?
I went to pick up my vehicle. I had sold it to somebody, and I was going through the truck, and there was a bazooka. And I'm afraid it's going to blow up or something.
Okay. Can you explain that again?
Yeah, I had sold my truck to somebody else, to a guy. He never paid me. He told me to go pick it up. One of his friends, I went and picked it up, and there's
Okay, your phone's cutting out. You sold it.
Okay, hold on a minute. Before I go any further on this one, how many of you have taken a call like this? How many of you taken a call where someone has called in for some weird ass weapons, or I don't know. Like I'm trying to think. I've never taken a call where someone found a bazooka in their vehicle. So thinking back on some of the calls that you've taken during your time, what have been some of the weird shit that people have called in about? Like this one right here. I mean, of course you're going to send somebody out to it, right? But a bazooka. So, whoa. Okay. All right, here we go. This is good. Let's talk about this. Because this is funny and crazy at the same time. Let's see. So we got someone here that says hand grenades in a rental vehicle, right? Or an apartment. I'm assuming a vehicle, right? And then the one time we left a long rifle in a car we were using for a sting. Oh no. Oh dude. That is that sucks. Okay. Keep it coming. Let's move with this. What is some of the weird shit that you've had calls on that have been like this? We've got someone here who says that they have found hand grenades in a rental. I'm playing this audio from someone who has this vehicle that has a bazooka. So, okay, there's only so much left on this. So hold on a minute. Let me play this really quick.
Talked to a guy and you went and picked it up?
Yeah, he told me to go pick up. He left the pipe in another house, and the homeowner said I have to remove it. And I pulled the truck over here on Sunday to my property, and I'm going through the truck and taking all the stuff out. And there's a rocket launcher in the inside the truck.
Okay, it's a rocket launcher.
Yeah, one of those like the terrorists when they blow up the planes I see on TV.
Okay, that's only gonna blow up if you pull the trigger. You clear.
Oh. I don't think I remember that part. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me rewind that. let me rewind that part. But let me go through the comments here because we got some more stuff that's coming in here. Let's see. We got someone here that says we had a deputy run a license plate that came back to wide ass pilots. Wide ass pilots. It was a pilot car for wide loads. That's pretty badass. Let's see. We got somebody here that says I get a kick out of mispronounced street names. Throw those in there as well because I like to mispronounce shit. My former supervisor was trying to say the street name Friar Tuck Drive, but said over the air, I might add Friar Fuck Drive. That one is a funny one right there. Thank you. Throw those in here as well. I can't even talk now. Mispronounced street names as well as this weird shit, finding weird shit and stuff. Let's see. Goodrin says, yes, an Enterprise. They turned the car back in with a carrier case of hand grenades with pins. Dude, that is crazy right there. Okay, let me rewind a little bit and finish this. Oh, hold on a minute. We got another one here that just came in that says a lady found a box of very old dynamite and bullets in the basement of her dad's house. Bomb squad, fire department, and several neighbors evacuated. Man. Yeah, that's crazy shit. Can you imagine how long it had been there? What if, I don't know, what if the place would have caught fire? What if somebody would have had a candle or something, or just somehow would have caught that on fire and just, I don't even want to think about it. But how crazy is that, right? For someone to find that, and then you take the call and you're like, all right, this is going to be an interesting shift. Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Yeah, one of those like the terrorists when they blow up the planes I see on TV.
Okay, that's only gonna blow up if you pull the trigger. You call your local police department and report that on a non-emergency phone number.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So he ended up being told to call the non-emergency number. All right. Well then. I mean, that works, right? I guess that works. Let's see. We got one here that says a lady walked into our station with brand new Colt 45s from the 1800s in the original case. What? Dad passed away and she didn't want them. Dude, did you guys send that off to, I don't know, some museum or something for them to be? Man, that one is, I can't imagine how much those, were worth. Let me see. This one might be one that I've played before, but some of you are new here tonight, so.
911, do you need fire, medical, or police?
No, ma'am, I don't. I don't have an emergency. 2 police officers just left my house just now. Third. Can we get their names, please?
Was it?
Just the music turned down. He was the cutest cop I've seen in God knows how long. I just want to know his name. Sorry, I know it's not an emergency, but heck. It doesn't come very often a good-looking man comes at your doorstep. Could you throw him back my way?
Do you need them to come back there?
Oh, I'd like that, yeah.
Why do you need them to come back there?
Because I have an emergency. I'll think of something. He's cute. Would you throw him back? I think they're partners. Throw him back my way, would you?
Okay, and what is the reason?
My dog. Just blame it on my dog. No, say the music was too loud. They came in the first place because the neighbors lived here for over 15 years. They've got a lot of nerve, these neighbors. My music was too loud. Can I discuss that with them?
Gudrun right here knows exactly where this is going, right? Yeah, exactly. It's almost done. I'll play the rest here in just a moment. But along with some of the stuff that we're talking about already in these phone calls, like this one too. Have any of you taken calls like this? I'm pretty sure, as far as I remember, I have not taken a phone call like this. I've had someone tell me that, you know, I've got a nice voice, but that's about it. It has not gone this far. Okay, before I play it, let me read this other one here. Let's see. I got a call from a woman who was cleaning out her recently deceased mother's house and found a hand grenade in the attic. I instructed her to leave the house and wait. She then told me she decided to take it outside and put in a flower pot on her front porch. What? Why? Why would she do that? Okay, Lisa, what happened? I need some closure. Like, why would that person do that? Oh man. Okay. While you're typing that and sending it in, I'm going to play the rest of this.
You need to talk about the noise complaint as well?
Exactly.
Hold on just a moment.
Thank you. Yay. He's a cutie pie.
And what?
Thank you. Yay. He's a cutie pie.
And what? And who is it having the loud noise?
Oh, I guess I'm the one who has the loud noise. The officer has to come to my house. Just music. I work out the loud music.
Okay, and ma'am, what do you need the officer to do? I mean, if you have another noise complaint?
I guess so.
Okay, and where is the noise
Honey,
complaint?
I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? I just thought he was cute. I'm 45 years old, and I'd like to meet him again. But I don't know how to go about doing that without calling 911. I know this is not absolutely in a way, shape, or form an emergency. But if you would give the officers my phone number and ask them to come back, other than I know they have terrible lots of things to do in Aloha, would you mind?
I'll give them the message to call you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I mean, she was being honest at the end. She ended up being honest about it. Oh, dude. I mean, this audio here, a good friend of mine, a friend of mine who actually, I feel was one of the big reasons that I was able to fulfill my Kickstarter campaign to do what it is that I do now, with the podcast and everything. Mr. Gary Allen, the late Gary Allen, he ran Dispatch Magazine Online, and he had a library just full. It was just pages and pages worth of audio tapes, and he gave me permission to be able to use them and all. And so some of these come from that library, and this one makes me crack up every single time. It's just called Call for Date. Oh, dude. Yeah, that one is funny right there. And it looks like from what I see here in the comments, nobody has had a call like this, or maybe they just don't want to say. Let's see. Let's go back over here to Lisa about this grenade. She said she didn't want her house to blow up. That's fair. That's fair. I'm not mad at that. She said she didn't want her house to blow up, as I'm thinking, okay, so let's blow up the whole neighborhood. You're right. And yeah, I probably would have thought the same thing. Like, dude, what the hell? Let's see. She goes on to say the bomb squad was notified and it turned out to be inactive. Thank the Lord. Not sure if that's the correct terminology. Either way, man. Yeah, that's good. It's good that none of that ended up happening. So here's a question. Have any of you taken any phone calls from, from those from people who have accidentally, like, I guess, shot their leg or their foot, anything like that. The reason I'm asking is, and I don't know why it made me think about it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because of some of the stuff that we're talking about here. I remember taking a phone call once where this gentleman called saying that that he had been shot, that somebody was there and had been shot. I remember, getting everybody out there, getting EMS to go on stage, doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing. And it sounded legit, like completely like somebody was there. He had a description, everything. It was also in the middle of the night, and officers get out there and they end up clearing EMS. After, a little while after they brought them in, they cleared them. They didn't transport or anything. And it turned out that the dude was cleaning his gun and accidentally shot himself in the leg and was so embarrassed that that he made up this story. so that, I don't know, I guess so that it didn't seem as embarrassing. But then I remember thinking, dude, isn't this more embarrassing? Like, like, take it for what it is. Like, you messed up, which sucks, and thankfully you're not hurt or anything. But dude, you're gonna lie and say that that somebody else had done it and it didn't really happen. I'm just curious. We all take a lot of similar calls, so I was just wondering, has anybody else, you taken anything like that? So there's a couple here. Hopefully they're okay to play, because again, I don't remember all of them.
911 emergency. Yes, is this a police station? Yes, it is. May I help you? Yeah, okay. This is ridiculous, but I am on 24th Street and a car wash stuck inside. I put $5 in, they put a soak on me, and it won't open the doors, and I'm scared to get out of the car. What's the name of the car wash? It's, I don't know. It's 24th Street. It's right next to, like, a party store or gosh, I don't even know. I'm just, like, freaked out. You're on 24th Street? Yeah, I'm on 24th Street. Do you know any other landmarks around there? Or? I'm across from Mueller.
Okay, so this one, and all of these have already been, FOIA'd, so all the information is okay to put out there. This one is not the one that I'm looking for. There's a different one that's here, and I don't think that's the right one. So I don't want to play the whole thing and something else happen, because like I said, some of these are funny ones, and a lot of the other ones are ones that you really don't, at least not something that I want to play on here, especially because of what we are doing, as in, sharing, funnier stories and stuff. But there was one that I wanted to find that was similar to that. But that's another one. How many of you have taken phone calls from people who get locked in their cars and they don't just, hit the lock that's inside? I don't believe I've taken any of those. I know a lot of friends of mine have taken calls like that where people get locked in their car. But those are things that I've also thought about myself, where I'm like, if my car just like stopped and I was locked in, would I remember? Would I remember how to unlock my doors, or would I, would I just be there? Like, how would it go down? Maybe it's this one here.
911, what are you reporting?
Hello?
Yes.
What was your question?
This is 911. Do you need 911?
Yes. I'm locked in my car. And
Locked. You're locked in your car or out of your car?
Yes, in my car.
Where are you at?
I'm in Woodinville on Avondale.
How would you be locked in your car?
Well, what happened is I got in my car and I turned on the ignition.
Okay.
And everything died on it.
Okay. And you can't just manually open your door?
No, I can't open my door. I am actually locked in here and my windows are locked.
All right. And did you try the passenger door to see?
No. Hang on. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I did.
I love the ending of that one. This is the one that I was looking for. This is a good friend that I consider a brother who took this call, and that. Let me see if I can find that part again.
Oh my word, I'm so scared.
Okay, no problem, man.
How did you know that?
I'm a 911 operator, so
Okay,
it happens.
all right. At least I can get out of here.
Okay, thanks.
I swear that has got to be my favorite part, is right there at the end when he goes, well, you know, I'm an 911 dispatcher, so woo. Oh, that's amazing. I love that. That is probably one of the best ones there, right there. Okay, let me see. I'm going to read these here really quick, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap up this week's episode of Open Mic Live. Let's see. Well, hold on. There's a question here. Gudrun says, do y'all get calls from people who car shop at closing time and get locked in the gate? Oh. Now that is interesting. That I want to know as well. Let's see. James says all the time. And in storage lots. Tim says, we took a vehicle lockout car for a Jeep Wrangler. Deputy responded, unzipped the window, and opened the door. Okay, that right there is that is amazing. That is amazing. And Sherry, yes, use that line when people are like, how did you know that? Well, I'm a 911 dispatcher. Of course I know. We know it all, don't we? Oh, man. Yes, I remember taking phone calls where so we had one side of the county had this area that well, it was a beach area. And in this spot, people would go out there and we would get phone calls all the time where they were locked inside because it was gated, you know. So of course it was open during the day, and then they closed it up after whatever time, and people would get locked in there, and they would call us like, so this is really embarrassing, but we're locked in over here at the beach. Is there anything that you can do? Can you send somebody? And of course, you know, the officers had keys and stuff, so we would send a local officer out there and unlock the gate and stuff. But it was always funny because a lot of times you could hear the spouse or or whichever saying, I told you that we were going to get locked in. Oh man. Yep. Hilarious stuff. That definitely happens. So I'm right there with you, Gudrun, that I've taken calls for stuff like that as well. And then, I mean, what can you do? But especially if they're laughing about it, you laugh with them so that they don't feel so embarrassed. At least that's what I would do. I would laugh with them and just be like, it's all right, yo. It happens all the time. You'll be good to go. See, Sherry says, we get people locked in the Smoky Mountain National Park. See, it happens. People stay too long, and I don't know, whichever happens, and they end up staying there. Well, thank you all so very much for joining me this week for Open Mic Live, where, again, we take an hour. It's over an hour now, but we take an hour out of our time to come together and just share some funny 911 stories, as well as audio clips if we have them. And again, if you have any audio clips, please make sure to send them in, and I can take all the stuff out that doesn't need to be there, and we can play those on there. And anytime, any funny stories, please, you just share them in the comments whenever we come on here. It's every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Again, thank you all so much for joining, and hopefully your numbers have gone up. There was a lot of you who had some lower numbers. I'm hoping that your numbers have gone up. I am at a 10. I've had a lot of fun with you. Thank you so much to my girl Erica for coming on and sharing those funny stories. That was good stuff. And hopefully the retainer that you have now is your retainer. Have a good night, everyone. This episode has been sponsored by InDigital as well as Rapid Deploy. And if you have any comments, questions, or you want to be a guest on the show, you can email us. That's going to be wttpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter. That is @91podcast. You can like us on Facebook. That is facebook.com/Within the Trenches podcast. This show will always be free, but if you're looking for any bonus content, you can check us out at patreon.com/WTT podcast. This can be seen on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter. And for the flagship show, Within the Trenches podcast, you can listen 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Again, have a good one.